Here are the top 10 games for the Nintendo Virtua Boy, according to fans of the Virtua Boy. Japanese-only releases, as well as prototypes and homebrews, are eligible for this list, which brings the total number of possible games to around 200. Number 10 is Hyper Fighting. Somebody took Street Fighter 2 and ported it to the Virtua Boy, which is equivalent to porting Doom to an air fryer. This isn't an official release, but looking at it, you would never know that. The graphics are amazing and it plays very well. Even the packaging looks official. If you get a link cable, you can link up two Virtua Boys together and play this, which is a feature that none of the official games supported. There's even a hidden character called Ben. Here's one more shocking fact. This game was programmed by one person who to this day has remained anonymous. Let's hope Capcom's lawyers never fire a Hadouken at them.
You lose.
Number 9 is Mario Clash. Here your goal is to use the Koopa shells to kill all the non-Koopa enemies within each stage. You can throw shells left and right, but you can also throw them into the background and into the foreground. It's the kind of gameplay that works best on a 3D system like this one, although that point is hard to demonstrate since none of this footage is in actual 3D. The best thing about this game is the variety. There's 99 stages which contain 11 different enemies, and the configuration of those stages change as you progress, sometimes having 4 layers to play on, and there's bonus stages as well. It's safe to say that this game has a lot of depth. If you want to know how I came up with this list, pause right here. And if you want to know why I don't use AI for my videos, pause right here. Number 8 is Vertical Force is what I apply to your mom every morning, but it's also the name of a video game. It's a shoot 'em up that, like Mario Clash, takes place in multiple layers, albeit only 2 this time. You'll need to ascend and descend constantly to avoid stuff and shoot stuff. That goes for the bosses too, which tend to move up and down through the layers. Other than those complexities, it's your typical shoot 'em up, one of the only ones you'll find on the Virtual Boy. What's interesting is that the manual says you are fighting AI drones that have turned against humanity. Perhaps this 30-year-old game can teach us a thing or two. Number 7 is Galactic Pinball. This one has 4 different space-themed tables to choose from. Each one has a lot of components to explore, and some of those components lead to mini-games. There's even a Metroid mini-game reachable on one of the tables. That part might be a cool thing to show women when they come over, but otherwise there isn't much else to say about Galactic Pinball. You knock the ball around and hope that it doesn't go off the bottom of the board. Number 6 is Bound High. This was ready to be released in 1996, but it got canceled because Nintendo gave up on the Virtual Boy. Many other Virtual Boy games got canceled at the last minute as well. For a while, Bound High was lost media, but in 2010, someone leaked the ROM for it. The object of the main mode of the game is to kill all the enemies within each stage, while keeping yourself from bouncing down into the abyss. Some enemies die as soon as you land on them, others have to be knocked off the sides, or have the floor collapsed beneath them. Every 10 stages, there is a boss battle. In the end, it's just fun to play as a bouncing ball. Number 5 is Telero Boxer. In the future, people use robots to box, and those robots are controlled remotely by humans using VR. Apparently, everything is red in the future too, but this game still looks impressive. Everything is so large and in your face. Many of the fans of this game say it reminds them of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, the way you can dodge, and how the opponents have their own special moves and personalities. I'm playing like trash in the footage here, but there is a lot of technique to the fighting and lots of moves to perform. It's definitely one of the 10 best boxing games on the Virtua Boy. Number 4 is SD Gundam Dimensional War. This Japanese-only release is kind of a turn-based strategy game where you move your pieces around, and when they get close to an enemy piece, a three-dimensional battle takes place. For some people, this game is so good, it's the only one they play. I'm just kidding. This is a fake out. This is considered by a lot of people to be the worst game on the Virtua Boy because it is boring. So SD Gundam does not belong on this list. The real number 4 is Mario's Tennis. This one is historically significant for a couple of reasons. 1, it was the pack-in game for the Virtua Boy in America. 2, it was the first tennis game that featured playable Mario characters. That's right, the Mario Tennis franchise started right here. Unlike some of those other Mario Tennis games, this one doesn't have any supernatural things that happen. It's just a calm and neat little game of tennis, which can be played as singles or doubles, but still only one player. A lot of people just love this game. Number 3 is Jack Brothers. This is a spin-off of a very obscure series called Shin Megami Tensei. You and your pals traveled across dimensions to experience Halloween on Earth, but you stayed too long, so you have to get back by descending downward through the mazes. You can play as either Jack Frost, Jack Lantern, or Jack Skeleton. When this came out in America, it didn't get distributed enough, so it is very rare. A loose copy of the American version sells for around $800, and luckily I own it. Shit. The Japanese version sells for around $165, and luckily there's a secret code built into it that converts the text to English. Before we get to numbers 2 and 1, let's go over some honorable mentions. These are games that barely missed being in the top 10. I'm just going to read them off in no particular order. Fishbone, which is a homebrew. V-Tetris. Space Squash. 3D Tetris. Panic Bomber. And finally, Innsmouth no Yakata. Number 2 is Red Alarm. This is basically Star Fox. You fly forward most of the time and shoot everything that appears. It may look messy, and you'd be right, but just know it looks a lot better when you're actually playing it in 3D. But the gameplay is where it shines, and that's why it's so high up on this list. It's just fun to fly that ship around and blow up the enemies. And just a side note, many of you accidentally call this game Red Alert, so please quit doing that. Speaking from personal experience, this is the only Virtual Boy game that makes me feel immersed, like I was actually in that world, flying through the corridors. It's a shame that the company that created it is no longer around. They must have been in the red for too long. Number 1 is Virtua Boy, Wario Land. This is the second time Wario got his own platformer, and they nailed it. Some of the other games I showed you today feel small, like they were meant for you to play for a short period, and then you move on to something else. But this one feels more full. It's loaded with stages, including bonus ones, and it has secrets and things to collect. The music is some of the best on the Virtua Boy, especially when hearing it through the original speakers on the system. It utilizes the 3D capabilities, but without overdoing it. It's no wonder that this one landed at number 1 in a landslide. Speaking of wonder, I have 50 other top 10 lists that happen to be wonderful. So check out some of those, and I'll see you next time.